If you're wondering why I'm so dressed up, it's because I just had a phone interview, and I like to dress up for phone interviews because then I feel more professional in my answers. So hopefully that interview went well, because that means I'll have a job and no more unemployment. Yeah! Alright, hey guys, welcome back. I am bringing you another book review today. Are you surprised? P.S. I still love you. Guys, this book was so good. I picked it right up from the library, read it right away. Oh, it was such a good book. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars, I believe, on Goodreads. It was just that good, guys. I actually kind of enjoyed it a little bit better than the first one. I think because most of the relationships were established already and everything was just swell and so happy. Although it wasn't really happy in the beginning. But anyway. So just a reminder, these are spoiler reviews. One day I will make spoiler-free reviews just for you people who want to read the books but don't want to be spoiled by them. But I just want to dive right into it because I love this book so much. Alright, just to begin, I'm so glad it didn't take us chapters upon chapters upon chapters for these two to get back together. I was so happy that it was very quick and very simple, and they both apologized on both of their ends, especially Lara Jean because she did overreact a little bit, although it was a hard situation. And Peter also apologized for his own thing, though I don't think he, at the beginning, truly understood what he was apologizing for, which then, he grew and he learned. But I was so glad. I was not ready for angst and drama and all that kind of stuff. My little couple got back together, and then he gave her the necklace for Valentine's Day, and that was just so cute. I knew he had that necklace. I knew it. I just knew it. And the fact that he gave up some weekends just so he could afford to pay for it, oh, that was just so nice of him. I love Peter so much, but he also drove me a little crazy in this book with some of the things he did. So Lara Jean and Peter get back together, and technically they are in an official relationship, and because of that they draw up a new contract, and they have rules such as what they'll be doing throughout their time, all this kind of stuff. New rules like she has to go to some of his games, she has to go to some parties, he has to call her every night, blah blah blah. But the one foreshadowing thing that broke my heart was the last one that says Lara Jean and Peter will not break each other's hearts. And I was just like, ugh, why would you put that in there? Now you're gonna break each other's hearts, which is gonna break my heart. I can't. Oh my god. But I just read that and I was like, no, that's gonna come back to bite us in the butt later. Something I thought was interesting was that Josh was very absent in this book. I feel like he had a very strong presence in the first one, and now that I guess it's official that him and Margot aren't getting back together, that him and Lara Jean aren't friends anymore, which I understand because they kissed in the first book, and then it was just awkward because she was with Peter and she wasn't know how she was feeling with Peter and all this stuff, and it was just it was very dramatic, and I wasn't the biggest fan of Peter. I didn't trust him very much, but then he randomly gets some new girlfriend in this book, and he's just like, oh yeah, alright, peace out Lara Jean, I have no feelings for you anymore, bye. And we don't see him anymore, which I think is weird because he had such a prominent presence in the first book, and I was just like, that's kind of weird that he's not in it. But then we get a new love. It was very much like an anime or manga, or I guess any kind of drama, where once a couple gets together, the mysterious childhood friend comes in and decides to ruin everything. And that's what Ambrose McLaren was. He was the childhood friend who decided to frick everything up. I knew the minute he was introduced he was going to be a part of this love triangle. I knew Peter and Lara Jean were going to have some struggles and everything, and it was just so hard. And I felt so bad for Lara Jean. You okay there? I felt so bad for Lara Jean in the first few chapters, especially when the video came out of her and Peter in the hot tub. Everyone knew it was Jen but Peter, and I was like, really, Peter? You're not gonna think it's your ex-girlfriend who wants to get you back? Like, come on, my dude. Come on. And the fact that it just got around, and I felt bad for Lara Jean because she was freaking out and her sister was not helping, saying that she wasn't gonna get a job in colleges and stuff, which is true, but even they said you could barely tell it was Lara Jean unless you knew who she was. So that was just very stressful, and it was just, it happened again and again. And I love when Peter stood up for her at the assembly when he cursed everyone out there, saying once he finds out who it is, he's gonna kick their butt. And I was just like, yeah, you stick up for your girl. And it was it was nice to see that side of Peter because, you know, he's always been the cool kid. Nothing's ever bothered him before. And especially because he's popular, you know, nothing's ever really bothered him before. So this is the first thing that's ever gotten underneath his skin. He's just like, I can't protect her. How am I supposed to protect her? And I'm just like, oh, it's okay, baby. You'll protect her. Let's start with Jen. Now, she is, I guess, the stereotypical mean girl. She is very mean to Lara Jean because Peter's dating her and she wants Peter back, and she's going through a lot of family struggles, but you don't find out until the end is that her father is having an affair with someone basically the same age as his daughter, which is disgusting. But I was more upset with Peter, which I understood that they had been dating for a very long time, so you make those connections with people and you can't just cut those people out of your life, but he would drop everything to go be with Jen. He missed his lacrosse game to help comfort her. And it just, it frustrated me to no end because I knew he would do that for Lara Jean if she had asked her or whatever, but he just wasn't understanding how she was feeling, and I would feel the same way if my significant other was dropping everything for their ex. No matter how long they had dated or how close they had been, like, I would be very upset, and the fact that he wasn't understanding that, or that he was even keeping it a secret from her, knowing that she was going to get upset about it. I think if he'd just been open and honest about it, yes, I think they still would have fought, but I think it would have made it easier in the end. And my heart broke when they broke up. It was so sad because you could tell Lara Jean was just done with everything. No matter how she expressed herself, he just wasn't getting it, and he still wasn't getting it when they were breaking up, and it was just, oh, it hurt my little heart for my little babies. But, John Ambrose McLaren. Can we talk about him? I just, again, didn't trust him from the start. He just randomly pops up. Did he randomly pop up in real life? So he writes her a letter, and then they start writing letters back and forth, which I thought was a little iffy on Lara Jean's part. Like, you're writing letters to a boy that you had written a love letter to before, and obviously, like, she had no secrets or anything. Like, she wasn't gonna try to, you know, go see him and sleep with him and all this stuff. But the fact that she really wasn't telling Peter about it made it more suspicious. I think if she'd been, again, more open and honest about everything like they said they were going to be, but no one is ever open and honest about this kind of stuff. So I think that it definitely led to the tension throughout the book, and it was just, I don't know, I guess we really didn't get to learn, I mean, we learned a lot about him, but he was just constantly kind of flirting with Lara Jean, and I mean, they kind of got to know each other, and they did know each other from childhood, but I don't know, I didn't like the constant flirting, especially with him knowing that she had a boyfriend at the time. Like, that just kind of made me uncomfortable with the whole thing. I love the game of Assassins that they all played and wanted to get together. It reminded me of that movie that's coming out called Tag, where those it's like 5 friends who've been playing tag for 30 years. It just reminded me of that. I thought that was a fun game, even though it ended very badly for Lara Jean because it broke up her relationship. Yeah. I think my favorite part of this book's ending was the fact that Peter wasn't gonna give up on her. I felt like Peter was gonna be that person that was like, you know what, whatever, I can get a new girl. I think that was the old Peter, but now that Lara Jean has touched him and stuff, he was like, no, like, I love this girl, I want to be with her, like, I cannot just let her go. So he said, I'm gonna keep fighting for you, and I hope that you fight for me too. And there's a quote when they're in the treehouse together and they're talking about getting back together, and Lara Jean's so scared, she's like, what if we do it again? And so the quote is literally one of the last pages. It's Lara Jean, she says, in the contract we said we wouldn't break each other's hearts. What if we do it again? And Peter says, what if we do? If we're so guarded, it's not going to be anything. Let's do it effing for real, Lara Jean. Let's go all in. No more contract, no more safety net. You can break my heart. Do whatever you want with it. That just touched my heart so much because I was like, oh, Peter, you love her so much. Oh, I hope Lara Jean fixes her relationship with Peter's mom, because you can tell when they were at the parent fair thing or whatever for the cakes that she was not very happy with Lara Jean, which I would not be if someone broke my son's heart, you know. But it was just so nice, and it was just like, oh, they're back together. And I'm glad, again, it wasn't very angsty for long. They were broken up for a few weeks, but it felt very fast in the book because the chapters are very slow, and you kind of can't tell how time is moving in the book. I will say my one complaint of the book is that something will happen in a chapter and it'll be like, oh, okay, like maybe we're gonna talk about that in the next one. And then the next one, you know, she's at like the nursing home or something and we're kind of ignoring what happened in the last few chapters. And I'm just like, oh, I guess that's okay. And there are very dull moments throughout the book where I felt like nothing was really happening. Again, halfway through it kind of picked up again, but it kind of sucks that it takes me halfway through a book to really get into it. Because I love the writing style and I love the characters and everything. It's just hard for me, I feel like, because I don't know, nothing's really happening. Maybe I'm just so used to fantasy books where it's like action, 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 action. I'm not used to slow and, you know, we're gonna build up into it and all that. Alright, well, I think that's everything I had to say about P.S. I Still Love You. I Have Always and Forever. It's downstairs. I'm going to read it very soon and do another review of it. I'm very excited. These are very good books. I highly recommend them to anybody who's looking for a fun, cutesy little high school romance. With this book especially had a lot more Korean aspects to it, especially with New Year's and Valentine's Day and all that kind of stuff. So I really recommend it for anyone who's just looking for a fun, not too intense, cutesy little review. And I love it so much. It's so cute and the covers are so pretty. And I want to remind you, the movie's coming out in August and I'm so excited. Alright guys, until next time, my name is Ashley. I make videos every Tuesday and Saturday. Bye!